What's up, man? I want to talk about this up and coming fight, Terrence Crawford versus Kell Brook. To me, it's a tale of how much do Kell Brook has left. I mean, let's be honest. I think Terrence Crawford is the best, at 147. I think Terrence Crawford is the pound. I got him as my pound for pound. Well, I just got him as my number one fighter. I don't do a list, so I just get him as my number one fighter. And Kell Brook, to me, he's not. Well, we know he's not the same fighter that he was before he fought Golovkin. You know, I remember the Jesse Vargas fight fell through, and Eddie Hearn wanted to preserve the card, so they brought in Golovkin. And a lot of people saying that that was a mistake that he shouldn't. A lot of people was questioning, like, man, you shouldn't go up to 160 to fight Triple G, and you have not really established yourself at 147. We have had a history of guys moving up, notable names moving up, like Roberto Duran moving up to fight Sugar Ray from from lightweight. We have had guys, just move up, from lower weights to challenge the guys. Like we had Tito Trinidad challenge for 147. He challenged Bernard Hopkins. We had De La Hoya challenge Bernard Hopkins. Things of that nature. Tommy Hearns going up to fight Hagler, Leonard to fight Hagler, Roberto Duran fought Hagler. But usually, when you go up in weight from your weight division that you campaigned in to go challenge a guy at a higher weight, usually you have established yourself as being dominant at that weight. Tito Trinidad, after he beat De La Hoya, he had solidified himself as the best at 147. So then he went up to 154. Then he eventually went to 160 and fought Hopkins. And I remember Zone, he was saying that Kell Brooks should not go up and fight Triple G because he did not establish himself at 147 yet, which was a great point. Now I'm all about guys, challenging themselves, and he wanted to challenge himself. So I wasn't too critical of it, but I understood where Zone was coming from when he said that why move up, you know, two weight classes if you didn't establish yourself at, because it was still a lot of fights at 147 that Carol Brook needed to fight. He didn't fight. He fought Sean Porter, beat Sean Porter. He didn't fight Danny Garcia. He didn't fight Terrence Crawford. He didn't fight uh, Keith Thurman. He didn't fight. At the time, he didn't fight Earl Spence. If you'd have fought at least two of those guys and probably became unified or had three titles, then he could have established himself as being a dominant welterweight. But nevertheless, he went up, fought Golovkin. In the first three rounds, he was doing good, but that was to be expected. He had speed over Golovkin, foot speed, and Kell Brook is a pretty good fighter, and Kell Brook is pretty strong. But Triple G started catching up with him, started going to his body, then went up top and broke his orbital bone. So the fight was stopped, I believe, in round six. Kell Brook took about a year off, a little bit longer, maybe a year off, because he had to get his orbital bone surgery. He had to get a titanium plate in his eye, and then either he was in danger of getting stripped of the IBF because Earl Spence was his mandatory, or he had to fight Earl Spence. So he went on and fought Earl Spence. In my opinion, he should have took a little bit more time in between that Golovkin fight because he took a lot of damage to that eye. He should have took a little bit more time, but people, in the boxing world was saying that he was scared of Earl Spence. I knew he wasn't scared of Earl Spence, but see, sometimes you can't listen to the public. You have to do the right thing health wise for yourself. And he didn't have an excuse why he didn't fight Earl Spence. He had a great reason why he should have probably let the title go vacant. And the IBF probably would have let him get a title shot after his eye healed. Whoever was going to hold the IBF title, but he took the fight. You know what I'm saying? Because he got a lot of pride, got a lot of heart, so he took the fight. I predicted him. I picked him to win versus Earl Spence, but in the back of your mind, you knew that He did you know, get that damage to his eye, and then it was reports that, you know, he was having a hard time making 147. Kell Brook is he looked like he's a weightlifter, so he carry a lot of mass, so it's probably is hard for him to get down to 147. So he got in the ring with Earl Spence. I thought he won 4 out of the first 5 rounds, and then Earl Spence started breaking him down because Earl Spence did not make any adjustments. People keep on saying he made adjustments. No, he didn't make any adjustments. He just fought harder. He just fought harder and broke Kell Brook, and then ended up breaking his other orbital bone, his other eye socket. So now the man got two titanium plates in his eyes, and people say he quit in that fight. I don't think he quit. When you get your eye broke like that, man, you can get close to being blind. You know what I'm saying? If he took more damage on his eye, he probably been blind. Same thing about the Triple G fight. He probably would have been blind. So Kell Brook was dealt a tough hand, you know, by back-to-back fights getting his orbital bones broke. That's, to me, I don't think that ever happened in boxing history. A guy back-to-back fights get both eye sockets broke. That has to be the very first time that ever happened. One is, you know, it probably happened several times, but two, I don't think two ever happened. But now he's fighting Terrence Crawford. It all depends on what he has left. Now, if Kell Brook, because look, really good fighters, you know, sometimes can have they probably have one more great fight in them. Now, do Kell Brook have one more great fight in him? He's fighting for his career. He's coming to give his best foot forward. Now, if the Kell Brook of that fought Golovkin, or even the Kell Brook that fought Earl Spence in the first 5 rounds, if that Kell Brook show up, then Terrence Crawford can have some problems. You know, I still believe Terrence Crawford can win the fight, but Kell Brook can present some problems to Terrence Crawford. One thing I don't like about Terrence Crawford is a lot of times when he's in the pocket, he pulls straight back out of the pocket when he get ready to exit the pocket. He doesn't always go side to side, left or right. He sometimes pulls straight back, and he get caught by right hands. Kell Brook to me at one point had the best 1-2 in boxing. I mean, straight down the pipe. Kell Brook is a straight down the pipe fighter. He's an accurate puncher, hard puncher. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys. It doesn't look like he punch hard, but he punches hard. Maybe he has heavy hands, but Terrence Crawford has to come 100% ready, like he is fighting or getting ready to fight the Kell Brook of old, because you never know. Kell Brook can turn back that clock, and you know what I'm saying, he can, for one night, you know what I'm saying, like Buster Douglas against Mike Tyson, for one night he can be great. So I don't think Terrence Crawford is going to take him lightly. Terrence Crawford had a press conference, you know, one of those cyber press conferences, and he said that he's getting ready for the best Kell Brook possible, because he has to, because you don't want to go in there and then all of a sudden you get surprised, like, oh man, this guy, you know what I'm saying, he's better, he's bringing more to the table than what we thought he was going to bring to the table. But to me, Terrence, see, it's about, I don't want to disrespect Kell Brook, but this is about Terrence Crawford and his performance. He has to go in there and have a dominant performance over Kell Brook. He can't have a nip and tuck fight. You know what I'm saying? If you have a nip and tuck fight, even though I know if Kell Brook, you know, for one night fight like he used to fight, that he can get Terrence Crawford problems and possibly beat Terrence Crawford. A lot of people is not going to accept that, because people looked at this man had 2 orbital bone fractures in his eyes. You know what I'm saying, on both his eyes, and people look at it that Kell Brook is past his best. So I think Terrence Crawford can stop him. I believe Terrence Crawford can stop him. I believe Terrence Crawford can stop him around 7 or 8 rounds. I believe about 7 to 8 rounds Terrence Crawford can stop him. But we'll see, man. Kell Brook does have a really good heavy jab. We'll see. I got to see how Terrence Crawford deal with his jab, but Terrence Crawford can jab too. Terrence Crawford has a longer reach. Terrence Crawford has that Mayweather reach, where he's like 5'8", you know what I'm saying, with that like 72-inch reach. So I believe this would be the guy, because I believe Terrence Crawford arms is longer than Triple G. So Terrence Crawford may be have the longest length, you know what I'm saying, as far as arm length than anybody that Kell Brook has faced. I know Earl Spence has a long length, but I think even Terrence Crawford arm length is longer than Earl Spence. But you know what I'm saying. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know who you think will win and why. I'm out.